Good morning, professors, research scholars, and students. My presentation is based on the threats to biodiversity conservation and ecotourism in Bannerghatta National Park, Bangalore, India. Introduction: Ecotourism, conservation, biodiversity, and sustainability. National parks and other protected areas are critical reserves of biodiversity in the face of increasing global changes. Given the alarming rate at which we are losing biodiverse systems and the services they provide, we must step up our conservation efforts by increasing the number and size of protected natural areas where feasible and improve coordination among already designated natural areas, such as our national parks. India is a unique country having some of the world's most biodiverse region and is known as one of the 17 megadiverse countries. India also accounts for 4 of the world's 34 biodiversity hotspots. India's conservation efforts have led to the creation of Project Tiger, started in 1972, a major enterprise to conserve tigers and its habitat. Project Elephant, another conservation initiative, was undertaken in 1992 and works for elephant protection. Bannerghatta National Park. Its history. Bannerghatta National Park was declared as a national park in 1974 with an area of 106.83 square kilometers by the government of Karnataka. In 2004, a portion of the park became a biological reserve, the Bengaluru Bannerghatta Biological Park. In 2011, the management plan approved the addition of Kodakali Range from the adjacent Ramanagara Territorial Division. However, increasing exploitations of natural resources by an escalating population is posing severe threats to the biodiversity conservation. There is overdependence of the population on forest resources, particularly firewood, fodder for cattle, timber for construction, non-timber forest produce for sustenance, land encroachment for agriculture, fragmentation and habitat degradation for urbanization, and illegal quarrying in the eco-sensitive zones and periphery. This has a direct negative impact on the habitat quality of forests, thereby adversely affecting the wildlife population. Study area. Geography. Bannerghatta National Park is located 22 kilometers south of the city of Bangalore in the hills of the Anakal Range, as seen in Figure 1. The total area of Bannerghatta National Park now encompasses an area of 206.51 square kilometers. The boundary of Bannerghatta National Park is highly irregular shaped and measures 59 kilometers in length, with the width varying from 0.3 kilometers to 13.8 kilometers. The park is part of a wildlife corridor for elephants, which connects the BR Hill and the Satyamangalam forests. Materials and methods. The present study adopted a questionnaire methodology, where a qualitative approach research was used to collect data from park officials. 145 questionnaires were used. Results and discussion. Bannerghatta National Park is facing the most severe threats from its own guardian, such as declining resource of water as seen in Figure 2, soaring temperatures and rising air pollution, and a lessening of citizens' nurturing effects. Threats and pressures faced by the park are as follows. Physical barriers. Bannerghatta is the first biological park in India to have a fenced forested elephant sanctuary by PETA. Rail barrier fencing, as seen in Figure 3, around selected high conflict zone of Bannerghatta National Park has proved effective in preventing elephants from crossing over to human settlements. Illegal quarrying. The park is threatened by multiple granite quarries operating around the national park. Figure 4 shows that these quarries are located alarmingly close to critical elephant corridors, such as Kardakal and Madeshwara corridors. There is a ban on mining and granite quarrying around the safe zones. Expansion and urbanization. Bangalore grew radially from 1973 to 2010. This increase in population is mainly due to migration. Bangalore city population has increased enormously, accounting for a 46.68% growth in a decade, as seen in Figure 5. There has been a 584% growth in built-up areas during the last 4 decades, with the decline of vegetation by 66% and water bodies by 74%, as seen in Figure 6. Fragmentation, habitat degradation, and deforestation. The Bannerghatta National Park is unusually shaped, indicating how the space has been pummeled on all sides by human interests. The main concerns about its conservation is a recent state government suggestion that the eco-sensitive zone, a buffer for the protected urban forest, be cut from 269 square kilometers to 181 square kilometers, as seen in Figure 7. Management constraints and consequences of ecotourism activities. Factor analysis was used to assess the management problem and consequences of ecotourism activities faced by park officials. From Table 1, it can be seen that inadequate funding, unmotivated staff are some of management's constraints, and low park tariff and safaris charges are consequences of ecotourism activity, thus reducing the revenue generated by the park. Conclusion. Our historical heritage faces important challenges in the 21st century. Many sites and structures have been degraded by neglect and vandalism. Others at the risk because of inadequate budgetary support or insensitive national, state, and local policies. Development encroaches upon our protected areas. Restoring the natural system and condition of facilities in our parks and protected areas should be a long-term national priority. To deal with such deficiencies and to provide resources necessary to meet these challenges, adequate funding is required. We are a species whose influence on natural system is profound, yet the consequences of this influence remain only dimly understood. Our increased numbers have altered terrestrial and marine systems, strained resources, and caused extinction rates never seen. Our growing numbers encourage a drifting away from knowledge about nature and our own history as a nation and as a people. The time calls for respected voices to join in confronting these issues, voices that can educate and inspire, leading to a great self-awareness and national pride. Thank you.